Hey, Thomas from Burnt Crow here, and today we're going to work on a logo. So what I'm going to be doing is drawing the Burnt Crow logo. And what I did is I looked up a bunch of different pictures of crows, and there's a ton of different ones. You've got everything from your Disney cartoon animated crows to your live crows and everything in between. There's quite a few different ones, but we're gonna make a crow logo, and then we'll add it. We'll add it to the website and we'll put it up there. And this will teach you how to do everything from the ground up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a circular. Well, you know what? We'll do the circle on the computer. For right now, we'll just draw the crow's head. And crow's heads, there's a lot of different shapes to it, so we have to try out and find one that we like. So I'm going to start off with more of an oval, like that. And then crows and ravens have two different kinds of beaks, and there's the crow beak, which is more pointed. It looks like that. And then there's the raven beak, which has it's got more of a blunted tip, so it looks like that, more of that kind of a shape to it. So we can try both of them and see what we like. You can put the tip down here, adjust it to what looks best. Maybe do a little nostril there. But we're not going for a realistic, I'm going for an iconic, something that people will look at and they'll recognize. So you might want to try a few different things. You can try giving your head, rounded like this. Draw your eyes a couple different ways, and I think I want mine to have more of a downward slope to it, and that way it gives it more of a, like more of that kind of a feel, like he's got some sort of, I don't want to say angry, but more of a cunning look to him. You give him a little white glow there for his eye, something like that. And then back of a crow's head may come down something like this. We're not going for an exact look, so we can make it cartoony if we want. We can do a lot of different things with this. We can make him smirk like that. Let's try this one over here. Let's try this angular head. So maybe something like that with some ruffled feathers on the back. And then for this guy, we'll make his eyes like that, like he's squinting. Put the bubble here for the reflection, because eyes are glossy. You give them a bubble and it makes it look like a reflection. Something like that. He's got a bit of ruffled feathers. And then afterwards, what we'll do is we'll put a circle around this with the computer. So we'll do something like that. Then you've got your cartoon style, and like Disney and their crows. I don't know if you've ever seen Song of the South. Very few people have, but if you can get a chance to check that out, it's a really good movie. And so I think theirs is more, like a loose. Just more like that. Looks like a penguin. But I think I like this. Maybe something along those lines. And there's going to be a few different ones, but I'm trying to create one that I can shrink down. And what you do is you take your icon and you make it like this. And then after you draw and you color everything, you shrink it down to a smaller size, and it makes the details stand out. So it looks like it's got a lot more details. And this is one of those tricks that they use in comic books to get things to look a certain way. So we can draw a profile. Let's see, if we're going to do a profile, it would probably be something like this and that. And so that would be a side view. I think I kind of like that. Make it a little bit more slanted, because our bird is fast, and slanted means fast. And then what we'll do after we're done with this is we'll grab a permanent marker, and in order to keep it going through the paper here, we always double it up. In fact, I'm going to grab some scraps. Yeah, that'll work. Like that. You double it up, and something along those lines there. Give him a little nostril there, and then we'll do his eye. When you're doing it with a marker, the ink is going to soak through, so you want to make your circles bigger than you want them to be, because the ink, when it goes through, it's going to expand and it's going to close that hole out. Afterwards, we'll take an eraser and erase all the pencil marks, and that's all that's will be left is the permanent marker. So we can do this one as a side profile, but this one's a 3/4 angle here. And then what we're going to do afterwards is we're going to fill this in black. We're going to paint it black anyway, so, or maybe put a texture in there on the computer. So it doesn't really matter if we color in the dark spots or not. In fact, I would recommend if you're going to put a texture on there, that you not darken it so that you can add your texture to it. Then we'll just go through and we'll erase all the pencil marks. There we go, we have a couple different ones here. And we can try those out. I'll try a different one here. Let's go for one more. So we're going to make this, we're going to shrink it down for the computer. So we're going to draw it a little bit bigger on this one here. And I'm going to try to give it a look as if it's at a 3/4 angle. So we'll draw, the shape is going to be like that. Then the beak, probably somewhere in that range. Then you'll have a neck coming down in here. So that's your whole head. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the shape of the head and the shape of the beak go together. You don't want them at an awkward angle where they look like they were glued together. You want them to be part of the same thing. So you might want to change this. And this is the whole joy of sketching it out, is you can actually change this while you're doing it before you commit anything. So we're going to do more of a raven look on this one. We'll give him the blunted beak up front here. And round it out a little bit. We'll give him a sort of a smile here. And then his bottom, actually let's go down here. Bottom of the beak will come here, and it'll go somewhere in that range. So we're sketching it out at this point because we're going to do it with permanent marker when we're all set. Then we'll have the face come up here. His feathers are going to go back over the edge, something like that. And Make his neck a little bit skinnier over here. And that's all going to be on the edge of the circle that's going to go around his head. And maybe we can have the beak go out a little bit over the circle, so it'll go behind it here and here. That way it gives it a 3D appearance, like it's standing out over it. So there we go. I'm going to round these off a little bit. I'm not going to give it those sharp angles like we had on the other ones. So he's got an eyebrow there, comes over, and then we're going to make it like a feather. So it's going to go straight, and it's going to come back in, straight, come back in, something like that, straight. So this is ruffled feathers, because you get ruffled feathers when you fly really fast, so we're going to give them some ruffled feathers. We're going to do rounded on the bottom. I'm not going to give them the bottom lid. So maybe something like that. Seems like a good spot. I like him having a smirk on there. So there we go. Let's give him a large pupil with a double light in it, like that. So there's another eyebrow come down here, and there's a rounded front of the eyeball. Yeah, we probably don't even need that. Let's see what it looks like without it. What we do is have him come down here, like that. Yeah, let's try it like that. Alright, so let's darken it. Put this one underneath here. There we go. Okay, so what we've got is something like that. Alright, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Give him his eye. And do the double bubble. I don't have to color this part in, but I think for my own personal preference, I just like to see it done right then and there. So he's got a little bit of a glare in his eye. And we could put the little beak hole up there. Maybe something like that. Now what I want to do is animate this. So when we get to the computer, I may erase this eye altogether, and so I can make it blink. So you'll see the eye, and then I'll erase it, and I'll put in a blink mark for it. Something like that. So this is more of a side profile. We'll erase all our pencil marks. And that's our logo. That's going to be our logo, and you should be able to see it on the website or Twitter or someplace like that. I'll put it up there. Let me do another one later at another point. But for Burnt Crow, this is Thomas signing off.